Hello, in this video we will discuss about the body types. So there are many types of body on the basis of their physical, and this is the physical education lesson. So the body type on the basis of metabolism when intake food. So some people have high metabolism and some people less on the basis of three major body type. Ectomorph, this is the ectomorph, which that is the thinner and the tall and more thinner, and let's also we will discuss. So this is the mesomorph. Meso mean this is the between ecto and endo. So the mesomorph is highly muscular and their is body appearance is so much good without any work hard in the gym. An endomorph is basically is the fatty persons, and these are higher body fat as compared to the mesomorph and ectomorph. Because the ectomorph, let's begin to understand first ectomorph, then we will discuss endomorph. So the ectomorph is can be easily spotted in any weight room. They are often below the average weight for their height and very high metabolism, because the metabolism mean the catabolism will be high, production of energy from glucose and fat will be high, so their body will be hot too much, and often complain of relentless eating with little to no weight gain. So after eating, the weight will not gain because the higher metabolism will not allow to deposit fat into the adipocytes in the adipose tissue. For example, visceral fat as well as peripheral fat. So characteristics, let's begin to understand about the ectomorph. So the ectomorph is the small joints, skinny appearance, hyperactive, fast metabolism, can eat whatever they want, get full easy. Basically, it can be eat something, but when they will eat, the fulfillment and feel the satiety and small chest and buttocks. And on the other hand, the difficult building muscle because the higher metabolism will not allow to synthesis of protein and anabolism, and difficult to gain weight because the low body fat and narrow frame. On the other hand, let's begin to understand endomorph. Then we will understand the mesomorph. So the morph means shape. So complete opposite to an ectomorph, and this individual will be large in appearance with heavier fat accumulation and little muscle definition. And in this way, let's begin to understand the characteristic of endomorph. Endomorph require hard work in the gym for reducing their fat and reducing their weight because it's higher fat content in their body in the adipose tissue, so their metabolism is too much low as compared to the ectomorph. Ecto mean the basically is the energy will release, but endomorph mean the energy will not release and sweating will be more. So the large amount of fat accumulation often fatigue easily because the less number of mitochondria in each cell and insatiable appetite try to various diet and exercise program to failure, cannot seem to drop weight and eat large meals or several smaller meal size, and low muscle definition due to adipose tissue and large frame. So it's contain large frame. But remember, this body type endomorph, when reduce their fat, it will appear amazingly good, and the muscle mass will be more because the metabolism will be anabolism will be less, so the anabolism will be more and catabolism will be less, so the muscle build easily, but it's difficult. So mesomorph is between the ecto and endo, and between ecto and endo, large frame, muscular and high definition. In this way, the body fat content will be less as compared to the endomorph. But remember the symmetrical build and wide shoulder and the smaller waist, and they look very amazing, and the low body fat and its muscular and large musculature seem to put muscle easily because they contain anabolism and catabolism equally and seem to put muscle easily and seem to burn fat easily, eat in moderation, and they can feel easily during the digestion and feel very good, and in this way they can build muscle more and gain muscle mass, but the ectomorph will not gain muscle mass, and the ectomorph height is more as compared to the meso and endo. So let's begin to understand the mechanism for the deposition of fat and how it's to deposit the fat. Here is the pancreas, which that stimulate due to the hyperglycemia when we will intake sugar containing food or protein containing food, which that will directly stimulate the pancreas for production of insulin, and insulin will bind with the several tissue, adipose tissue as well as the peripheral tissue, for example muscle. So in this way the liver and muscle will bind and move the glucose inside of the adipose tissue, and muscle will adipose will hypoglycemia, and the whenever the endomorph will symptom of hypoglycemia will again eat, but the ectomorph will not. So in this way, this is the muscle and adipose tissue, and deposit the sugar into the muscle and adipose tissue. So this insulin will work, and ecto basically is lead to low insulin, but growth hormone will be more. So that is why the burning of fat will easily, and meso contain insulin regulation more or less on the basis of diet, and growth hormone will increase, will lead to muscle build. But endo mean the insulin will increase, will lead to deposition of fat from the glucose into the adipose tissue to contain fat, and growth hormone will be less. Anyhow, let's begin to understand their characteristics and body type persons, and in this way that there are several body types on the basis of between the extreme mesomorph to endomorph, and between the mesomorph to ectomorph and endomorph. So in this way, this is the extreme mesomorph, this extreme endomorph, and this is the extreme ectomorph. So between the extreme mesomorph and ectomorph and endomorph, so let's begin to understand amazingly. There are several persons on the basis of their shape between the mesomorph and endomorph, which that is when go toward the endomorph from the mesomorph, their choice and their characteristics as well as their ability to work as a sport or exercise on the basis or some talent will be contained. Here is the extreme endomorph will be sumo wrestler, and toward the extreme mesomorph we are going to, here is the probe forward, which that is when go to the mesomorph, and toward more between the mesomorph and endomorph, the water polo player. That is the character of the body type. And on the other hand, when go toward the mesomorph, because it is the muscular and it is the weight thrower, so the weight thrower and the wrestler, because the higher amount of muscle mass and they can fight easily, and the weight lifter when go in toward the mesomorph. So basically the complete mesomorph is the weight lifter. So generally you can understand as well, but let's begin to understand the extreme mesomorph and extreme ectomorph toward the extreme mesomorph, or extreme mesomorph toward the extreme ectomorph. So that is the strategy we can understand on the basis of the research and on the basis of the observation, and this near to the mesomorph can be gymnastic when go toward the mixture of the ectomorph. So with the go and more ectomorph from the mesomorph will be rowers, sprinters. And sprinters mean it can be easily run, but it will not longer and longer distance running. But sprinters very important, and they can expert in sprinters. And swimmers when go to ectomorph, and distance runner when go down toward the ectomorph from the mesomorph. So that is the and basketball player and race walkers. So in this way, let's here you have understood that is the basic strategy to understand the between the mesomorph and endomorph and ectomorph characteristics on the basis of sport, and they can choose easily. And on the other hand, the body types person on genetics, basically the gene transfer during the reproduction to chances with a female with male ecto and meso will lead to directly ecto or meso production of babies, and this 90% chance will complete through a parent, and parent will be meso, so the child can be meso 100%. And that is why, and sometime it will not, but sometime it 100% works. So thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe.